That one still ain't live. You took a picture.
Huh?
So this one still ain't live.
Now.
Now, okay. Okay. Now we got it on.
Yeah.
Now we're ready to rumble.
Now we're ready.
No, we waiting still on Dion. How far away is he?
I don't know, but I don't wait too much. You know, I'm an impatient person, so.
I know you are, but.
We're going to go ahead and talk about this thing, you know, for the last couple of years, even when I was single. You know, there was a certain topic that used to come up that I used to post, and, you know, everybody had their little ideas of, you know, I was being judgmental or, you know, just saying little, what is it, snide comments on the side. So we had a few friends, how did it come up, Judy? We had a few friends that were in a situation and, you know, trying to figure out how to get out of that situation and how they got themselves into the situation, you know, that they're in. And so...
Are we on a single, am I doing single segment too?
You can.
Because you're on here with John?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So, you know, we decided to talk about it today because it needs to be addressed tonight. And we got LaShonda, our guest photographer. Let them know, introduce yourselves and what you do.
My name is LaShonda, and I'm the founder of Shonda's Empowerment Corner, and I'm also a photographer with Save That Moment Photography.
Yes. So, look her up. She does great photography. She did a lot of photos for us when we were doing the events at Conversation Piece and, you know, what else? Moorhead Tavern, etc. She's always been very supportive in, you know, what we were doing. Sugar, I don't know why you're holding that. You might as well put it up so you can get into the conversation.
Well, I'll get in the conversation. I was like, well, look, let's see if it's
Yeah,
okay.
that doesn't make any sense.
Yes,
But you know, we just wanted to come on and talk a little bit. So we're gonna come up with some questions.
We
And,
did have some questions.
okay, well,
And, all right, you want me to get in?
Yeah.
I don't know how many.
put it on the thing. You should put it on.
Huh?
Put it
Put
on.
on what thing?
Can you put it on the book beside the tablet?
That's all I was saying.
Yeah.
Put on something beside.
Yeah, we're going through technical difficulties, but I wanted to be live. I wanted to
This isn't technical. This
You know,
is
be live
makeshift.
right now. Instagram is on, showing so much love.
Hate touch phones, people. Hate touch phones. I'm trying to figure out how to put this on here without touching anything.
You got it?
Yeah, it's sitting there. It's sitting there.
There you go.
It's good?
There you go.
Okay.
I knew you could do it.
I know, right?
We live on
You would
three
think-
different things.
You would think that my
Well, three.
history is not in photography, okay? I actually
Like,
honey, let it, don't worry
you
about
know,
it.
because a dog attacking or something?
Well, you don't know enough sense to come on back in here, but what were you looking for?
No, I was trying to see. Andrew! Go ahead.
Just give us
Well,
one.
and I know, right? You know? Really? This is what you do. What we say? Edited, undirected.
It's live, y'all. It's live.
They're not even scripted.
Okay. So what's up, people?
Thank you.
Wow. Okay, this is why I don't want to start right away. This is why I like to
Go
wait
ahead.
a little bit so
Okay.
that we don't have to run into all of this kind of interruption, but it's okay. We're cool. Anyway, what is the topic?
Ain't no sugar in your shacking.
Ain't no sugar in shacking. And why would you call it that?
Well, because a lot of people, you know, want the benefits of, you know, shacking. They want the, you know, they get benefits out of shacking and think that it's sweet. What's up?
Hey.
big bro. But they think that it's. They think that it's. Go ahead, move over there. Go over there.
Wow. Because we're taping. We're taping.
But come on.
What I need to be on the camera for?
Cause you gonna give your perspective, bro. Come on, just like you want.
Man, come on, man. You told me to come down here and visit.
Yeah.
Now you trying to put me on camera.
Yeah, come on.
On camera. Is this gonna be sideways again? I know we are just not even.
No.
Okay.
But you know, a lot of people want the benefits of shacking. You know, they go sleeping. Well, first they find somebody that they could partner with in order. Some people have motives to pay their bills. You know, get their bills paid, partner in paying their bills. Some people have motives in, you know, just having everyday sex. Low expectations. Some people just want to have somebody to be present. So while somebody else has one intention, the other person has the intention that they want to settle down, get married, and have a family. So it's a bunch of confusion and shacking. And while one person gets comfortable, the other person, you know, basically has another plan, and somebody ends up getting hurt behind it. So they stick in that same situation, just not figuring out how to get out of it, not wanting to get out of it in any kind of way because they're comfortable in that situation.
What?
So,
You want to say something about that?
if you can come here,
Oh, man.
You can be someone off of
Which way we
You just
scoot?
which way we scoot. I can sit on this side. You sit right there. Hope you can pew
And
that.
also, what often goes on in that situation, like in my situation, in my past marriage, you become content with less than what you expected. So you lower your standards. And, I mean, you end up giving up and doing a lot, putting forth a lot of effort to get something that the other person has no intention on giving you. So you become comfortable and settle for just mediocrity, whatever they want to give you. You content with that.
Well, I mean, you know, we have some questions, but I don't know if anybody, we just want to go ahead and jump in. But,
Comments going on over there.
hmm?
I said, it look like you got some
Comments, I know. And I'll get up and look at them in a minute. But first, you want to, you know, what does shacking mean? Shacking means living together, what, without the
Without
benefit,
marriage.
without marriage. So, not roommate. We're not talking about you in a roommate situation. And even if people tell you in a roommate situation, if there are feelings involved, emotional feelings, emotional attachment, romantic attachment, and you are under the same roof, but you're not married, that's what we're considering shacking. So, you know, then, you know, does the Bible strictly forbid living together? Now, what do you guys think about that? Does the Bible really say, I mean, the Bible forbids what? Fornication and adultery. It doesn't specifically say you cannot live with someone, but we know in today's generation that it is very difficult to live under the roof with someone and there's no physical activity. There's no activity as if you guys were husband and wife. Mm-hmm. I've not been able to do it. And I'm going to bring up something else because you guys jumped straight into, well, you know, one person. But Hollywood paints this scene that when you meet the person you love, what? You're supposed to move in. That's like the next step. The next step is, I found him, we're great, we've been dating for a while, it's great, we're going to move in together. That's been on television and movies and things for the longest amount of time. So a lot of people have bought into, that's the step in between marriage and dating, is that you live together, see if you can work it out, see if things could go wrong. So we already know the world's idea is that's the next step. That's the next logical thing that you do after you've been dating for a while, you guys have become exclusive, you move in with each other in the future to get married. So I'm just kind of setting that up because some people come into that situation saying, yeah, this is what we're going to do. We might eventually get married, we might live together for a little while, but we're more exclusive than just being girlfriend, boyfriend, and so we're going to move in with each other. That's in movies, just like accepted.
Yeah, so they get
So,
complicated.
it doesn't always mean that somebody's not telling the truth. It doesn't always mean that. Sometimes it does mean that they both agree, we're just going to live together. We're just going to live together. But I guess where we're going is, what has been the experience? What has been the real life experience? I mean, movies are great. Sitcoms are wonderful. But what has been the real life experience?
Well, as far as me, I've never had that. I've had that experience for a short term of time because my first wife at that time, she wanted to do right by God. So she was like, well, we're going to live in together. She's been through that before, but she was like, if we're going to move in together, we might as well get married. So we had a plan. We were planning to get married. So within that 6-month time of shacking, that was planning for a wedding. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't trying to get into an argument and back out of it, that type of thing. And then next thing you know, prolong it. Oh yeah, well, I don't want to marry her because we got this going on, so I'm going to wait another 6 more months. No, it was like, this is the plan, and this is how it's going to happen, and this is how we're going to do things the right way by God, because we both were trying to do right by God at that time. And it felt kind of funny at first, just shacking and staying under somebody, but at the same time, we had a promise, and we made a promise and a commitment to God in order to make it happen, and it happened. So as far as that, I couldn't see myself shacking with somebody or staying with somebody for years and years that I already know that I'm not going to marry. Deep inside, I just have no desire in marrying them. That's like a waste of my time and a waste of that other person's time as well.
But
Keep going.
That's also relevant to how you've grown as a Christian.
I agree.
Because if you're a baby Christian, you won't see anything wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
That's question number 3.
You're planning, and you got to hope for a future together.
Mm-hmm. Now, I think shagging is shagging. You either shagging or you ain't.
Yeah.
If you know you like a person, and regardless of whether y'all plan on getting married or not, if y'all are living together, I don't know everything in the Bible, so I can't quote specific scripture, but I do know that it states to stay away from anything that would even possibly lead you to sin. And I think that if you know that you're not disciplined to a point where you're not going to become sexually, sexual at all, which that's very rare. If you're staying together, you probably staying in the same bed.
Right.
And
Right.
I mean, that's temptation right there. So I just think just to keep us from doing that, it's just better to just wait than to shack. And then another thing is when you move in with someone, you guys move together, it's not just as simple as, oh, we're going to break up because things didn't work out and now we just go our separate ways. You probably bought furniture together, you sharing the bills. If you're in a place where you can't afford the place by yourself, and then now the other person done left you, now you finna get put out because you can't afford it because y'all did something that only married people are supposed to do, because once you get married, you become one. So you shouldn't have to worry about the split. But because y'all skipped that step and went ahead, it's simple to just be like, oh, I'm gonna leave because we ain't work out, and just leave. But you still got the bills, you still got the furniture. It just complicates things when the marriage isn't involved because it's just easy to just walk away from it.
Right.
So what do you say to that person who says that, because I've heard it a couple of times from people who made excuses that didn't want to marry their mates. What do you say to them who say, that marriage ain't nothing but a piece of paper, so I might as well, just stick with what I'm doing, because we're married right now, even though they're cheating on the person and sleeping with other women or going out to the bars. And what do you say to those people?
That's why marriage is just a piece of paper to them, because the thing is, if they're already practicing shacking and they're already practicing everything that's involved in a marriage, there is no reason to get married. They're already doing everything. And so on top of that, it's really, if you feel, and I used to feel like that, like marriage was a piece of paper, but I also was not strong in my relationship with God. I don't even think I had a relationship with God at that time.
Right?
So it was easy for me to just be like, I'm used to, if I like you, I'm going to move in, we're going to move in together. We're going to do all the things that married people would do. We're going to have kids, because marriage is just a piece of paper, but it's really not. But if your mindset at that time is that it's just a piece of paper, then there's definitely a bigger issue involved in that.
Yeah.
So what do you say to the women that's complacent with that? That's been with these people like 10 to 20 years. What do you say? What do you say to the women that's been? No, I'm just saying we're gonna get into the questions, but people need to see the unedited, unwritten version of what's going on in reality with men, and women too having certain plots of living with somebody, having certain hidden motives and agendas, living with somebody, but not promising that person that they're living with a commitment. Their commitment is just paying a bill, just partnership in paying bills. What do you say to these people? Because there's a lot of people that's like that. There's a lot of people that's going through those stages.
It's just like what I was saying. You're settling for less. Okay, if somebody says being married is just a piece of paper, okay, you hear that and you keep hearing that, you reprogram your mind into thinking that it's just a piece of paper. But marriage is not a piece of paper. And God's word, God's married to the church. The church is his bride. So he's not saying that your church is a piece of paper. You can just rip it up after you get tired of it. It's a lifelong commitment. It's like in your vows, you say to death do you part. So, like, you have to not settle.
I heard somebody say something real funny. It's like money is a piece of paper, but we don't start ripping that up and throwing that away either. So, the thing of it is we give value to money. We need to give value to marriage.
That's the thing.
It is beyond just a piece of paper.
When it comes the right way.
When it comes the right way. And that was question number 3 about why do we consider it sinful or not living godly? And that's because that's not God's order. Now, we know the world will say, well, we can do this, like I said, Hollywood and movies and television. They show that, like, oh, they just moved in together. They make a whole show about it. And
because they don't show what happened if y'all break up. And
and even if they do, it makes it real smooth. Or, they'll run that clock.
On reality TV now, you see that.
Yeah, they'll run that clock for maybe 4 years, and then maybe there's a marriage. You know what I'm saying? But the point of the matter is that we have been fed, like you said, we have lowered our standards because we've been fed all this stuff of television, movies. This looks doable. I can do that. You know what I'm saying? If they can do it, I can do it. They don't seem to be having any repercussions. You know what I'm saying? So I'm probably not going to have any problems. But that's not the reality of it. That's not the reality. Now, Craig, you brought up the point, these women who,
Can you let us know when it's time for us to go?
Of course I'm going to.
We have children. You know what? I mean, it's not child care, but yeah, we let everybody bring their kids. But what's happened now is people are not even living together with the idea that there's a marriage at the end of it. They are literally like you said, somebody's paying the bills.
Well, it's either a business opportunity or that's a step in
up.
a relationship.
It's a step up.
Let's take the step of staying together and see if things work out and see if we can grow closer together.
I'm testing
well, no,
the
you don't have to do that. If you really want to get to know somebody,
What was that question number 4?
Just like you'll stay on the phone with them and go places with them, you don't have to live with them to know them.
You don't.
I mean, you just see their tendencies.
And you don't have to live with people to love them. I'm going to go there. You don't have to live with somebody. That was, in my mind as a young person, I have to live with them to what? Know them. And my love is going to increase. And so that's question number 5. Did the feelings of commitment grow or diminish?
Grew, definitely.
In my case, the feelings of commitment to the person didn't really grow. Mine didn't. I mean, it was so like we did everything. Why get married? You know what I'm saying? And then I think when people are together, when you first meet somebody, right, you're all about, oh, well, we have all these things in common. When you start living with people, you start noticing what? What you don't have in common? Mm-hmm. You start noticing all the things that get on your nerves.
Leaving drawers on the floor.
You know, that, oh my God, this is the way you live. I don't think I want to do this. You start thinking these things. I don't think I want to do this for the rest of, do I want to do this? You literally will say, do I want to do this for the rest of my life? And half the time the answer is no. Because what you tell yourself is, I think I can do what better.
Exactly.
I think I can find somebody who is more compatible. You literally start to compare that person to somebody you probably haven't even met yet. Mm-hmm. And that person now, who you were so gung-ho for before, they come up one thing. They're like, that's okay.
And see, by doing that, you lower your standards. And you also don't see any kind of commitment because you see there's an escape. But if you know into this person, you with this person to death do you part, there's a willingness to find happiness. To work towards it. And build something great. Because if you don't work together and building something great, then what are you going to have? What do we have today? All these broken homes.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. All these people who are still, and who are repeating it because, I mean, even as a young person, when it didn't work the first time, I just figured, well, you know, that wasn't the right person. I just need to do this again with a different person, and it'll be the right person this time. Mm-hmm. And, you know, so you living together, and you break up, and you hanging out like married people, and they break. And I was like, this isn't working. This is not, because, like you said, I don't have my whole commitment in there. We don't work on ways to make it work. Because you really thinking on ways to escape. How do I get out of this?
And just knowing that it's there. Just knowing that you can leave.
That you can leave.
And some people plot while they still together, like, okay, I got this place I can go, you know.
I can go
so
there, I can move in with somebody else.
Yeah.
And that's what
literally,
it
starts to get crazy that this stuff just keeps going. And I know some people, their whole 20s was just bouncing. Mm-hmm. From one place to the next place, to one person to the next person. And after a while, you're
so they found somebody that they really can be comfortable with and accept their behavior. Because a lot of people are dealing with low self-esteem, you know, and think that they can't do better.
But if you're going from person to person and you want to truly find happiness without, if you're not doing it the biblical way, you're going to do what? You're going to end up lowering your standards and settling.
You are.
The best thing you can get. For what you feel is the best person you can get.
Right. Because you're going to look for things, well, this fits me.
Because nobody's perfect.
And nobody fits you
perfectly. You're going to see who you can tolerate. You're going to see who you can tolerate. Right. At that point, it's not even about love anymore. It's about who I can tolerate.
Mm-hmm. Who's convenient.
Yeah.
Who's convenient.
But on the flip side of that, do you want to live in that misery, though? I mean, look at it. Look at somebody that you basically laying under because you got your own motive and you got your own scheme behind something. But you don't want to look at that person in the morning when you wake up. You know what I'm saying? And so you really ain't got no marriage. You know, you say marriage is a piece of paper, but marriage also takes a year to get a divorce, right? So you're in a comfort zone of being in somebody's face that you don't like and you have no ties to. You know, I don't understand it. I don't care if you got kids or whatever. You know, a lot of people say they got kids together and things like that. But at the same time, let's say it's a woman. You can get them for child support. You know know, get him for child support, get half his check, get 3/4 of his check, whatever. But look, no, I'm just saying.
It does.
It works both ways, but I'm just saying, you know, if you're a man, you could just bounce. You know, she might get you for child support, she might get you for everything you got or whatever, but you're free. You know, spiritually and mentally, you're free. You don't have no ties. I'd rather be in a bond of somewhere within my life than live under somebody that I can't look at every day. There's no way that I could just wake up, whether I'm having sex with that person. Why would I just have sex with a person that I don't like? Why would I even go in the shower or in the same bed with somebody I don't like? Why would I even use the same bathroom with somebody I don't like? Like, it's a waste of time and a waste of experience. And I know a lot of people are dealing with low self-esteem. You know, the excuse is my mama did this to me, my daddy did that to me. You know, my daddy wasn't there, so I needed that type of love. But that ain't the love your daddy was going to give you in the doggone first place. Your daddy would have told you to get the living daylights out of the thing in the first place. Out of the situation. You know, so you're really disappointing your daddy, and I can see why he don't want to be around, because he's probably disappointed in being around something like that and seeing somebody being used the way that they're being used. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
I heard a song today.
And, you know, people, no, because I'm in the zone, because people, you know, they don't see God, and they feel that they can get away with a lot of stuff in life. They feel that they can get away with so much because they don't see them physically. So they see these Jay-Z's and Beyoncé's and all of that and thinking that's the way of life. But God is trying to tell you, he's trying to tell you in so many words, come to me, I will get rid of that misery that you in. But until you let go of that, if you don't let go of that misery, I can't come into your life.
That's true.
That's all he's saying, and I ain't trying to lecture you. But I know half of you on there shacking, you know, and you know, doing the wrong things outside of God. And God's just saying, listen, man, listen. You know, I can't do nothing because you're not asking for me right now. You're not moving the way that I want you to move. That's all he's saying, people.
That's important. That's very important.
Well, I was going to say, I heard this song today, and some of the lyrics on the song were, well, we've been together this long, we might as well go ahead and tie the knot. And that thing aggravated me so much. And I wanted to put it on Facebook today. If somebody comes together to you and says, well, we might as well do this, what are they saying?
Yeah, you might as well make a life commitment.
Yeah, you know, it's like, well, you know, you're still here.
Something.
You know, it's not like you're...
I mean, when you're coming together with somebody, that should be something great, not mediocre.
Not mediocre, not, okay, well, we've been together this long, we might as well do something. And I'm like, you know, I talk to people about putting marriage, like, at the end of the sentence. Like, y'all done traveled, y'all done did all these things as shacking up couple, and then you might as well get married. But it's like, what kind of feeling? To me, that's not a feeling that I'm special. That's just a feeling that I survived. You know, like you got rid of all them other people, but I managed to still be here.
That's not a feeling of we're gonna commit our lives to each other and continue and have a glorious journey, a happy journey.
Right.
You're not gonna. I mean, that doesn't show me that okay, us being married is not just a step we taking or something like that. It's well, it is just a step we taking. It's not gonna be something great. A man and a woman coming together to get married, and when they get married, they're gonna be to death do you part. Okay, you got my back, I got your back. It's us against the world. That doesn't sound like that. Might as well.
We might as well.
Might as well.
Oh well.
We might as well take on the world because nobody else will deal with me. That's not. They don't go together. They don't even sound right.
Now, what's the other phrase that's going around? Oh, she's my ride or die. You ain't put a ring on that finger. How long she got to ride? How much she got to die before you put a ring on the woman's finger? And I mean, I feel like women are now having to prove that they are ride or die before the man will marry them. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's That's not how that goes.
Yeah,
You
they gotta
say those
push you
vows
through.
in the beginning, not after she done been through stuff and got it. Why do we, the thing of it is that, and we do that hoping that we will be able to cut down the disappointment or cut out the heartbreak. But that does not mean anything. How many people we knew lived together for a long time, got married, and the marriage did not last?
I don't blame. But it's not. In today's society, it's not just the women that's doing it.
I know. It's an equal opportunity in society
it
today.
confuses me because I'm like, coming up, not in the church as much, and then being in the church, I'm like, on both sides, I always thought that's what a woman wanted, was a relationship, a commitment. But it's like, it's like really has puzzled me that, actually I've seen some friends that I met earlier in my years, and it was like, they don't want no relationship. It's like, but you don't want no relationship.
But they're settling down, living with the people that they don't want a relationship with.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, you don't want no relationship. You're not looking for nobody. You got all these kids, and you just still jump up and go when your baby daddy say jump up and go. I don't understand that. But then it's not me myself, but it's other guys pursuing them, but they're not interested at all.
I think the thing is, people have relationships and the idea of marriage and relationships so twisted because they really don't seek to find the right way or why you should do it the right way. And based on my personal experience with my youngest son's dad, I had the experience of, he said we would want to get married. And so I'm like, okay, we like each other, we good, let's get us a place, got our place together. And again, what I think you had said, Judith, it's almost like you're test running a new car. Like, okay, let's take this on a test drive. Let's see how this goes, And then it's why get married and just a piece of paper? Like, why buy the actual car when I could just test drive it for free? Let me see how long I can drive in this car before problems show up, and then I just get it made. You know what I'm saying? And
But that was my experience, and because I'm going to be carte blanche. When I came out, I grew up in a very, very strict Christian home. And so when I hit the ground, I hit it running, okay? 100 mark. Judy was out there like, I went to an art school. The people were flippy and crazy and whatever. And my whole thing is like, I don't think you need to, I just wanted to experience life. And so what I found myself was serial dating, serial relationships, and serial shacking. It was like, as like you said, as soon as a problem showed up, this ain't working, time to go, because you obviously aren't the one. And it's not, what I had to learn literally was, it's not that you're going to find some relationship that has no problems. It's how you two face the problems, and how you overcome the obstacles. That's what's really what the relationship is about. I didn't know that. I was just like, as soon as I got tired, and as soon as that little, that emotional flame went away. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, that's where I compare it to what we were saying about being married is a relationship. It's not just a piece of paper.
It's not just a piece of paper.
Okay, that relationship, you're gonna get to know somebody and be with them and accept them for who they are. You get to know them throughout the time of the relationship.
We got some new people coming in, so just hang out. But I'm gonna stand over this way so here. Right here. I promise I will not fall off the couch like I usually do. But I was the serial shacker. It was just like from this person to that person, and it was like infatuation. And as soon as those infatuation feelings wore off, then I was like, this is something was always missing, you know, and you always figured it's the person's fault. Never mind, it could have been in me, period, but it was always, you know, the other person's fault. And, you know, like I said, growing up in God, I still would talk to God even though I was far away from him. I'd be like, God, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm sick and tired of this. And I think by the age of 27, I was like, I'm not doing this no more. And my friends were like, girl, it's time to go, you know, I was like, I'm tired. The next person I date is the person I want to marry. That's what began to form. That early, it was forming in my mind that it had to be something beyond, let's see if this will work out. It had to be more than that. And, you know, one of my questions that I have, and I'm going to pass the questions out, did the feeling of commitment grow or diminish? Did the desire to be married come out of that experience? No. I actually didn't want to be married to that person because I didn't want to deal with that problem for the rest of my life. I just didn't. I was like, you know what?
So if that person would have said, you know, Judy, I want to change for you, you know, I want to, have certain plans, and they got the plans down, you know, we got good game and things like that. So if he had a good game and he was like he wanted to change, you still wouldn't have changed your mind?
To get married?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
You didn't want to marry?
Because literally, I don't, at that age, and I'm being very, very honest, I'm very transparent, I really don't think I was interested in marriage. I was interested in how that made me feel, those emotions, that high feeling you get when you first meet somebody. I was like this kind of roller coaster and that infatuation, and I was made something serious out of an infatuation. And so I don't know even if at that age I was really thinking, you know, settle down, marriage, kids. I was like I said, I grew up in this really restrictive home, so I was like, I hit the ground running. I was like, this feels so good, let me go here, let me go there, let me date that, let me have this, let me travel, let me go around. And in the back of your mind, you're like, oh yeah, we might make it work. But to be honest, I don't think we really thought we were going to last. It was just like, well, as long as this lasts, as long as the good times roll. And I mean, and that was a lot of my late teens, early 20s was like, let the good times roll. And when they didn't roll, pack it up and move it on. Mm-hmm. And I got to the point in my late 20s where I was like, this is just monotonous. I don't feel I'm getting to know a new person all over again. I'm sick of it. You know, where are these people in my life? If something happened to me and we're supposed to remain friends, they ain't no friends. You know what I'm saying? You moving, something breaking your car, you can't even call these people because they're not really your friends. So it was like I began to wake up. Like, there's something wrong with this whole situation. I mean, in the back of my mind, I knew this isn't what God wants. But, you know, you feel like you can do it better than God. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be real. I thought I could do it better than God. I was like, you know. So I'm just saying that from my experience, the desire to be married really didn't come out of those first couple of experiences. It came when I got to the point, like, this is really like a roller coaster. Like, I not only went into the amusement park, I bought the amusement park, right? I'm not even ever leaving it. I'm just in it over and over again. So it's like, you know, that's I had the question, what made you try it again after the first time? Because I thought, that person wasn't right, so let me just find a person.
And, you know, the next thing you know, you go into the next person, and the next person is more bogus than the first person.
Oh, my goodness.
You know, more foolishness than the first person.
Now I'm saying stuff that, you know, real. You know, baby, we're going to be together. Oh, I just, you know, we use that love word so freely. We tell everybody we love them. Mm-hmm. I'm going to love you forever. Love always. I mean, we just write all that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, you don't even see the person next year. Tell me their name right now and you wouldn't know it. And it's so wasteful. It's just so wasteful. And it's hard when I see somebody doing it now. And like I said, I won't put out people's names, but the person was like, oh, I need a marriage license. And I was like, well, what's going on? Well, we're going to make it official that we have a relationship. I said, okay, relationship and marriage. Two different things. What are we talking about here? And it was like, well, he wants to make it official that we have a relationship. I said, why are you using the word marriage? Because what we like to say in our mind, marriage, but we're not doing marriage. We're not doing it. We're doing something else. And I said, literally,
I
if
think
you guys
that's
are
a
not
good
on
idea.
the same page,
I
then
think,
you are going to be disappointed. Now, let me finish. You're going to be disappointed.
yeah, but I think that's a good idea.
What's a good idea?
No,
I know, right?
because I'm gonna tell you, if the man has a certain motive within his life, right, and he wants to sit down and lay under somebody, and he wants to, you know, have that dream. Oh yeah, we're gonna get married. We're gonna have this. We're gonna have that. Take his butt right there to the courthouse.
I disagree.
Sign the
Do
papers.
not do
And
that.
no, take his butt.
Do that.
Take
I'll
his
tell
butt
you
right to the
now.
courthouse.
You know, you're
That
so
way,
crazy.
no, because I'm gonna tell
No,
you.
I
I'm
disagree.
gonna tell you. I mean,
No.
they're doing it right by
Just,
God.
just
right?
because someone says they're gonna do
No.
that, don't mean you should call it bluff.
They
Because
doing
what's
it-
going to
they doing
happen
it-
is
They doing it right by God, but they're not doing it for the right reason.
Yeah, but
Right. You
yeah,
don't
that's
do it to
true.
call someone's
That's
bluff.
true. But the man already knew in the first place he
No,
had a
he
wrong
didn't.
motive, right? So what he wanted to do, he wanted to stay there and be complacent
But see,
and
some guys will
relaxing
take it.
into
Some
the
guys-
person's home.
Right, but some guys
They can
will
go
feel-
both ways.
Yeah, okay then. That's what I'm saying.
She's saying that some guys will take
Some guys will take it
actually
that
go over
far,
there. Yeah.
and then get the coon, move in together, think everything is all good, and they still have the same motives. They still have
After
them.
marriage?
And now you
After
gotta do, yeah,
And
now
now
you
like
gotta
you
do
said, you
the
gotta go through that
divorce.
thing, the
You know what I'm
divorce,
saying?
a year separated.
That's what I'm saying.
Don't-
But see,
no.
some people don't want to let go of that marriage. I know a dude, we talked to him the other day. Wait a minute.
You can't
We
let-
talked to him the other day. The dude been separated 15 years.
You can't let go of a marriage you never established to begin with.
Yeah, but who
You
wants
gotta
to
get
go
the,
through
you
being
gotta get to
separated from somebody
know,
for
you gotta
15
get to
years?
know. I
Nobody
guarantee
was gonna do it,
I
but they
guarantee you,
was gonna
if you
do
do it
If you're
God's
fooling
way
them,
from the
go ahead.
jump, if you do it God's way from the jump, you court, you keep the sex out of it, you don't move in together, and you really get to know each other, and you see that he is so far in God. He shouldn't even be able to get to you as a female unless he seeks God first.
Amen.
And you should be able to see that first before you even talk about anything with marriage. And then, after you get to a point where you feel like that person is the person that God has for you, you make that step. But I think also there's a lot more divorces because people like each other and they feel that spark. And they're like, oh yeah, I want to get married. He want to get married. Let's get married. And then they realize that they done married this dude that's a cheater. They done married this dude that's a liar. They done married this dude. Right. You start seeing all
Domestic
these
violence.
things
You be
coming
like,
out
wait a minute.
because they either said they wanted to get married first, and you just like, oh, this dude want to marry me, girl. I'm
Yeah,
gonna get
I know.
married.
We can fit
You
to
know?
get married.
And every marriage isn't supposed to be for every person. You don't get married just so because y'all want to
Well,
live
that's
together.
what I was saying to her. Because I was
Yeah.
like, you getting all excited because he wants to make it an official relationship, but out of your mouth is marriage. He hasn't said that. He hasn't said that. And even if he should, you guys are starting off wrong because you're already tipping over there, leaving at 2:30 in the morning. Don't tell me nonsense like that because I've been there, done that. I'm going to tell you, anybody who's tipping and leaving out and had to try it 6, 7 weeks before he even wanted to make it an official relationship, let's just be real. He already got you. He already got what he wanted. He's already settled what he wanted. How many people know somebody talking about they're engaged and it's been 4 years and they're still engaged?
I know 'em.
One day,
I know 'em.
They shouldn't take
I know people that say they've been. I know people that say they've been raised and they right there criticizing me, and that's why I'm glad I'm up on here today. That's why I'm glad we talking about this because you've been married. I mean, you've been engaged 17, 18 years,
Lord.
and you still ain't tied to nothing. And you still ain't tied to nothing. I know.
Yes.
I know.
Child going through school.
I
You
know.
don't raise the baby.
I know
Now,
more.
and
The
I
people I grew up with,
And
just sitting
listen,
there,
I-
10 years, 18 years, 15 years.
I've known some people, they were like, I'm not giving up anything, I'm not doing anything. They get a ring on that finger, and the next thing you know, they get them give up the cookies, they done moved in, and I'm like, the ring
because
on
it's
the
a false image.
it's a false image, and people have fallen that way.
It's a false
And
image. Because an engagement does not
mean
does not mean
anything.
commitment. It
And
is
so
not
the
commitment.
shacking after you engage doesn't even mean that they're committed to you. Now I know that worked in your case, but you know, I can't condone it. I can't.
Well, you know, I mean, back in those days, like we said, we had good intentions because we planned and we wanted to do it right by God, and it worked for that time. At that time, it worked. We did everything right by God. When we left God, everything went wrong. And so that's why I'm telling y'all. That's why this is important. I know a lot of people, it's hard for them because they're laying up under a man they ain't planning to marry, or laying up under a woman they ain't planning to marry, or whatever. But if God ain't in that situation, it's not going to work, period.
It's not gonna
It ain't going to work.
Married or not, it's not going to work.
You know, and there are some people that last by, without God. They get married without God, but they're miserable. You know, they're miserable in the marriage and just trying to hold on.
I know some people are like, well, I know some people are happy. But I'm just saying that in today's generation, where we got people saying anything to get in, thank you. I've never seen people be more creative than this generation.
And you know what?
It's just like, I'll do this, girl. I'll make sure your nails are done, your bills are paid. What's wrong with
Well, see, that's the thing. You know what they do? You know what they do? What they do is, it's just like what we tell the kids. It's just like what we tell the kids. Anybody can give you money. But see, people get so amused by money. If he gave me $100 or $200, the man just thinking, oh, I'm going to give her $200, $500, $1,000 just to get her out my face. I'm going to pay a bill just to get her out my face so she can quit nagging or whatever. And then next thing you know, it comes to a time next week where she got the same issue mentioning it. And he say, oh, well, I'm going to give her this money. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that for her. But that don't work neither. That's full of misery. Because look what you could have done to the $1,000. It don't take nothing but $70 to get married. Right? So you spent your $1,000, $2,000 on the woman when you could have took her straight to the courtroom and married her. But no, you want to act like you're big baller and pay all types of bills. And then next thing you know.
Like I said, becoming content.
Becoming settled on
they're paying to play.
There you
they
go.
feel okay.
They
feel like I can spare that money.
You can go to the strip club right there and pay $40 to get a woman for one night. Not
so crazy.
No, I'm just saying you can go to the strip club, get a woman for one night for $30 or $40, and you paying a bill for $1,000.
Hey.
We didn't say it was good economics now. We didn't say it was that. We're just saying this is the game that people are playing.
We've been friends a long time. He done got successful, got him a business. His baby mama at the house, she's straight. New car. She get to go on trips, leave and go whenever she wants to. He fine with that. Because as long as she gone, he can do what he wants. He can do what he wants. He can run anywhere he wants. He done took a girl from the strip club, took her out the strip club, bought her own place, paying all her bills.
Wow.
And he content with that. That's what I'm saying about being content. And he paying to play.
Well, he signed up for that. She did too.
But he paying for his baby mama to go where she want to go.
And he accommodating her too.
He accommodating his chick on the side. Yeah. She got a place to live. She ain't got to be in the strip club no more.
But he better not ever get sick because he's gonna be in trouble. And see, you know what I'm saying? This is the thing. And you now have two women who are only there because of what you give them. They are not there for you. So God forbid you get sick, get laid up, get hit by a car, have a heart attack, lose a job. You're going to be without these women because they are going to be gone as soon as the bank account is gone. But we have so many in this generation living like that.
Yeah, because they in relationship for convenience.
Convenience and for being paid.
It's convenience.
Yeah.
People mixing love with what it is. They mixing what it is. The thing is, in this generation, people love things and use people. So that's what the problem is.
Yeah, people love
things, but use people when it's supposed to be the opposite way. And a lot of times in relationship, we ordain marriages that God did not ordain at all. So a lot of times God didn't tell you to marry that man. You say you want to marry that man.
To get married.
And then when you wake up beside an orangutan the next day, when you using dog you, it's because you can't expect a marriage or a relationship to be meaningful and bring greater fruit when it was never meant to be there in the first place. So I think a lot of times we I was reading one time about relationship. If humans, they say dogs and animals learn from us. A lot of times we need to learn from them. Because when an eagle chooses her mate, she put him through a test before he even become a part of her family. And just as well as any other animals, a lion, a gorilla, you got to show your strength. You got to show your something. So what it is that we do, we are expecting people to be in position that they are not ready for. A lot of us are placing these men in a position of being a husband. They're not ready for that.
I agree.
A lot of men are putting women in a position of being a wife and a mother when she's not ready for that. And then you wondering why she can't please you at home. She was never meant to be your wife.
You know, I had a very good friend. Oh my God, and it was years ago. They met in the club and they were dancing and everything. She was hot. You know, good looking. They got married, had the baby. That woman was like, after a year, I don't think the baby was a year more old. I'm bored. We don't go nowhere no more. We don't do anything. And she got up and left him and the baby.
Yeah, because it's about what she wanted out of it.
You know, right. So she had this idea, oh, I'm married. Well, after the shine ran off of that for a minute, she was like, man, I had one time in the club, and I can get all these different men to buy me drinks. And she wanted that lifestyle. She missed it. And now I had to be home and the baby teething.
So that's what I'm saying. When a man put a woman in the position and that's why it is some good men that's out here. It's not all of them that's bad. It's some good men that's out here that want to take care of their wives, want to take care of their girlfriends, want to do what they're supposed to do, but they put the wrong women in position that they do not want. She wants to have fun. She never said she wanted to be your wife. But if it takes me to keep getting these gifts and getting what you're giving me to be your wife, I will sign up for it.
Thank you.
But the moment you get sick, the moment you lose your job, the moment things went wrong, then you find out what you're dealing with.
What you're really dealing with.
That's the difference between guns and butter. You have to make sure that the person that you're with can not only be with you through the good times, but through the struggle. And we tend to always look at when we are dating and when we're going through courtship, wait till something go wrong. Wait till you get sick.
Girl.
Then see if they stick around. Do not.
Well, you can't say that. You can't say that because there was this woman who put me through so much hell and everything. And I still went with her. I said, baby, I'm here every step you go. Put me through all types of hell. And next thing you know, she still left.
Yeah, because
they can't determine.
You can give a person everything they want, but that don't mean they still want you.
Right. That don't mean
see,
they
wanted
probably wanted
what you
things,
give.
right?
You to support, love, and everything else.
The person that wants you.
I'm talking to my brother.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Man, look, went through a situation 8-9 years. Come out my coma. Want to go get married. Married my 3 daughters' mom. Go up there. I was like, we're gonna work together, do everything. Went through premarital counseling, everything. I'm all in. Ain't never seen a 100% successful, godly marriage ever in my life. So I'm giving everything benefit of the doubt. Taking her relationship with the Lord and using that is what I'm gonna put her on a pedestal for. But then she's an imperfect woman. So it was things that was going on that I disliked. And when I wasn't saying nothing about it, I would just kind of act kind of different. She would say something about it. And so I started saying something about it. We ended up going to counseling. I'm saying something about it. The counselor saying that I have a right to question what's going on. But then I'm looked at as being the wrong one, finding dirt on me. Like, oh, well, he do this, he do that, who do, but that ain't have nothing, that's not why we're here. We're here because this, and this. But you want to point at my shortcomings. Every time anything to get on her, she would say, I done something wrong. Okay, but the whole thing, if we even going to counseling, is for us to work on coming closer together. Okay, we're married, through thick and thin, death do your part. It don't matter. So what are we gonna do to resolve the situation? You're not trying to resolve it. You just want to place blame. So place blame you're not dedicated.
Right.
Okay, that
Right.
contract, that piece of paper is not worth nothing because you're not trying to stand up for God's word, how we're supposed to do this. You're just saying, okay, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, but you're wrong. But you're not wrong, and we're in this together. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because in any relationship, you're gonna find some things about each other that you just don't like. But I feel like when a person sacrifices is the greatest joy to what love is. Because to me, love requires sacrifice.
Oh, yes.
It requires it. And if a person can't sacrifice, it's just like me dating a person who smokes. I don't smoke.
Yeah.
But he's good. He's a good person all the way around, but he smokes cigarettes. That is something I don't do. But when you smoke, I'm just asking you to please don't smoke around me.
Yeah,
Don't
take it
smoke in my
outside.
household and take it outside. And if
And
he's
take
with,
another shower before you get home.
exactly, exactly.
Take another shower for me.
Sacrifice
Take a shower
and
at the
accommodate my needs.
Right.
That's worth it. But when you're dealing with somebody who's all about what I want
And only what you
and
want.
only what they want, and never sacrifice anything, that's not love.
For you
And
to
And
have
you know
some
what?
dedication.
When we were
Right.
talking about dating, you know, I had a thing after a while. I gotta see you for at least a year, because and she knows I got called
the
4
4
seasons.
seasons.
4 seasons. I want to see you when it's hot. How do you act? I want to see you when it's cold. Let me see how you handle them holidays. But I'm also looking for something that we don't talk about anymore. I'm looking for character.
Girl.
I'm looking for character because the things that you have, anybody can have.
When you take
But
all those things
away.
out, who you dealing with?
Like you said, if you get sick, if you lose a job,
How you
I mean,
handle
how do
stress?
you handle that stress?
Girl.
Are you
be
going
nice
to be
and
out there
sweet.
hustling?
Girl,
Are you
right.
going to
You
corner?
definitely beside your
You know
head.
what I'm saying? Thank you. You gonna come on
So
there
right.
and kill it and try to kill me?
You got to see. You need to
Yeah,
see
it's
this
a see the
person.
character.
That is
And
so
this is something
true.
I don't hear us talking
That
about.
is
When I'm
so
talking to my
true.
friends, oh girl, he got this job. Oh, you should have
He's
seen
so
his
got
job.
this car.
Oh,
He got
you know,
this.
he's nice. He take me to all these places. Oh, he's nice when he's taking you to all these places. But when
But
he
when-
lost that job, how
How did
nice
he
was
act?
he? Okay?
He won't
Would
punch
he,
you in
would
the
he,
face?
would he share some chicken
Calm
nuggets
down
with
right
you?
now.
Or you, or he, all the
Did you
chicken
say
nuggets
he
are his, and
did
you
you
ain't
just say
being
he
invited
did?
over no more because.
They'd be like,
let's
he's
be
looking for a
real.
job right now.
Goodness.
He looking for a job right now. I think he's doing all right though. He just said he is.
You know, but it's like, it's like, what is the character? Is a person still going to be there for you? I never forgot one time, and I laughed about this because he probably don't remember. There was one time, that was before we got married, he didn't have a job, and I came over and we were like going to have lunch together. And really, I forgot what you pulled out, but literally, ladies, it might have been like 4 chicken nuggets, half a glass of lemonade, and some chips. But he split it down the middle.
You doggone right.
He was
That's
like, this
right.
is what I got, and if you want to sit here and share with me, I was blown away, hungry now, okay? I had to go get something to eat later on. But I was like, okay, this dude will take his last, split it in half, and say, share this with me.
That's
And we
right.
prayed over the meal. And I was like, that's character.
If I lose my job and we don't have nowhere to stay,
Thank you.
we can stay together in a cardboard box.
Hello.
You ain't gonna leave me to go stay over here while I'm having nowhere to
I don't
stay.
have no place to stay.
There you go.
What kind of person is this going to be? And also the flip side is that, can he handle success? Because we got some people who can
That
Oh,
change
yeah.
when they
They
get
change when they suddenly got some money. You know, their head get real
Or
big.
how about when you with someone and they going through something and you done help them every step of the way, but the moment they get on their feet,
Girl.
they change on you.
Change up.
When the
I've
need
been
change, so do that.
Thank you. You
When
know,
the need change,
Well, and I
Well-
tell people, watch that. You know, if he didn't have a job for a while, let me get a
and then
job.
he get on his
Does
feet,
he only
you done
hang out
help
with
him
brothers
out.
now? He ain't got time for you.
He done
Cause I-
help you out, you done help him out, and then when he got on his feet, all of a sudden now he can't
But
call no more.
let me tell you
You
something.
can't hear from
On the
him.
flip side of that, and this is if you're not married, praise God, even though it hurts. But if that person
It's
can
showing
flip
you,
on
thank
you and they showing you that they can flip on you when they get success, then imagine how they would be if y'all were still together in that success.
Yeah.
So God just allowed that person to be
Show.
removed
But I think, yeah.
and
You
let
need
that
to
person
watch.
continue
Attention. Thank
continue in misery And a lot of times people, God will do things. He will allow people to be removed so you can get closer to Him.
Yeah.
It's just giving you signs.
Yeah. And you can't
You know
do
what
that
I'm
if
saying?
y'all shacking. And he
Yeah,
removed
you
that
can't
person,
do
yeah,
that
you gotta see
because
him
that
every
person
day.
is in the way of you building that relationship with God.
Amen.
You know, whether the person got a good penis, you know, whether that person got good sex or whatever. But God has amazing sex. I'm going to tell you right now. God's sex is amazing.
You ain't crazy.
I don't know about that.
I know his sex, because the only thing you got to do is hold on to him. You got to hold on to him, and he's grabbing you. What he wants you to do is he wants you to draw closer to him and hold him like you holding that person
I don't know either.
that's
You
draining.
kind of lost me. Lost me a little bit.
No, because that's going out of the way because y'all not used to saying that God could please you, you know, in those type of ways and in every way.
In every way.
You know, but he can. You know, I'm a grown man, right? I'm 41 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you right now, he holds me in every way. Dion, you been through it?
What you talking, man? Why you put me in this?
What damn like you out there by yourself?
No, because I know you've been through something.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
But I think you bring up
I
a
know
good
your
point.
story.
When we're shacking, our mind is not on God.
No, it's not.
It's just not. It's not on God. It's all about
Trying to keep everything together. In a
trying to keep everything
Talking
together.
about the good things.
You
The
know,
good
yeah,
times.
you know.
You know what can make you smile? What can make you feel good?
And we
What
feeling
can make you
bored.
feel important?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
most important one.
But in the
Feeling
part of
bored.
that you,
And, yeah.
but
But when we're
then there's
alone,
there's no commitment. That time can run out because when things get hard, are you gonna still stick in that or still be there? You don't have no kind of contract or nothing.
no.
So you're like, no, either I'm leaving or you leaving.
Yeah,
And-
who leaving?
Well, they see something
Yeah.
else that's glittering over there.
Over there, they all
going.
going. And you know, and I tell people, I said, I got to the point in my life where I said, I want God to bless me. I got a really tight.
Oh, you good.
You want a chair?
Come on now.
A chair. I said, yeah. I wanted God to bless me because I felt like I know what I could do by myself, but I wasn't doing enough. I was like, you know what, God, if it means I gotta live a certain way, so I know you will bless me, that all things will work together for my good, as opposed to
Travis
me
Green.
trying to figure it out. You know, oh, this worked and I don't know how that fit together. God has stuff that's fitting together for us when we're walking according to His will. He said all things work together for the good of those who are called according to His purpose. So when you're in your own purpose, you're not necessarily in God's purpose.
Right.
And so I was like, I want to be blessed of God. This way, even if I go through a hard time, there might be a lesson. There might be a testimony coming out of there. There might be someone I'm supposed to meet when I go through. But when I'm just, what happened?
Keep
Oh,
going.
when I'm just, I know the thing. When I'm just trying to do it on my own, it's not the same thing. So, I mean, the reason we started talking about this whole topic of shacking is because we got some friends that say they're born again. And they're living again. And they feel as if there's no problem with what they're doing. And I'm sort of like, God.
The reason for that though is because they haven't gotten to a certain point in their relationship with God.
With God.
That's the core issue, because we all have different journeys and we all have
That's
different
true.
levels of our relationship with God. And so if you're still in the level of I'm still having sex, I'm still doing worldly things, but I have a relationship with God, you still haven't gotten to that experience to where you understand why you should wait. So even though it's technically not in the Bible, you're so close to God, He's already revealed to you why, though it's not in the Bible, why you should not do that. You know what I'm saying? To keep you from, you know, for one, going farther away, because God isn't going to bless a mess regardless.
He's not.
He's not going to bless a mess. And also, if you're not doing it in the proper order, it's going to be really, really hard for it to work, because God's way is the perfect way.
Yeah. You've already taken it out
So,
of the water.
what about the people that say, you know, because I came up and said that one time, God don't bless mess. And they say he blessed David, he blessed Paul, he blessed all of these people with, with the mess that they had within their lives.
They also had consequences. They also had deep consequences. So, just perfect example. Let's say that you say, okay, I like this person, we're going to move in together. And eventually y'all do get married. Or let's say even before that you have kids. And then you get married because y'all might as well, right? That don't mean the relationship is going to work just because you got married. Because it still started off in the wrong manner.
It started off in mess.
Right. It wasn't God's perfect way. And so by that, you haven't, built that relationship with God to the point where now you both are at a level where you're following God and you're both whole people. Because I think also people get married because they feel that that's completion. When you get married, now you guys complete each other. And unless you're already complete in God, it's not going to work because you're going to constantly be relying on that person to complete you. And so when they change or they're going through something that they can't do all the things they used to do with you or for you anymore, now all of a sudden you ain't happy in the marriage anymore. But you're really not happy in the marriage because you didn't go into marriage as a whole person to begin with.
That's the thing. A lot of people go into marriage, but they're not happy with themselves
Exactly.
first. Love starts with you.
Exactly.
So how can I give you something I don't have for myself?
Oh, you better work it like you heard that. Say that again. Say that again.
How can I give you something that I don't have for myself? So if I don't have respect for me, how can I respect you? If I can't even trust myself, how can I trust you? Exactly. If I don't love me, how can I love you in the way that you deserve? So a lot of the issues that we have is because we haven't even first fixed self, and then we're gonna add someone else to connect with us, but we haven't even dealt with us. So how can I deal with you?
And that's a mess.
And that's a big old mess. And that's why I say a lot of people ordain marriages that God Himself did not ordain. You did, but He didn't. You say this man is for you, but God never said this man was for you, but you said it. And then when you're stuck with the mess, you have to deal with it because you took matters in your own hands. And I just feel like we all messed that up because a lot of us is trying to fill voids. A lot of us is in need of affection, love, support. So we're willing to accept 5-10 minutes of it if we have to just to get it. The biggest addiction today that beats crack is love and attention. That alone outbeats sex. Love and attention.
Sex.
That is the number one addiction today because people are willing to do anything to get attention, love, and affection. And they have to take them to have to settle to be in a relationship that they know they're not happy with, a marriage they know that they're not getting what they need just to say they have someone that are willing to do it and then drag their kids in the midst of being in an unhealthy relationship when we don't understand that we are the blueprint and our kids is the copy. You cannot make a copy without consulting the blueprint. So with that being said, we are showing our kids what love is, and if you're not loving yourself, nor are you giving your husband affection in the household, nor is you respecting one another in the household, nor are you doing the things that you need to keep a relationship and a marriage together, what you think that they feel about relationship and love? Based on what it is that you are showing them, and we wonder why it's a cycle of generations of people not wanting to get married. You see now more successful single people than you do people that's in a relationship or marriage together because they are scared of it because of what they see. They seem like they can do better by themselves than
but you know what I'm seeing now? I'm seeing the I grew up in a double home. And I'm seeing the people that I grew up around in double homes don't want to get married.
Yeah, because they see what they went through in a marriage with two people in the household. What's a marriage of having two people in the household where there's no love in it? I'd rather have a $1 than 100 pennies. I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies. So more people in the household doesn't mean there's more love. It can probably sometimes in some households mean more stress, more destruction. And a house that is divided will not stand. So that including children rape downs to the children. And that's why I say by personal experience, I know when I was in a marriage, I know when I was in certain relationships I was in, the reason why I knew that it was not going to work and could not work because a lot of things felt within me. I was in search for love in all the wrong ways. So the first time somebody gives me what it is I felt at the time was love, I jumped to it. But then when I fell in love with me, my vision of what a person gives me as love to have changed. So now I do appraisal on the people I choose to deal with because you have to do appraisal on people nowadays because you don't want to buy into something that's going to break down on you and you don't invest. I feel like I'm an asset. So why would I invest my time and energy into someone who's not going to take care of me? Do you ever have to see, do you see a Bentley with a commercial? Do you have to remind it of this luxury and what it is in this world?
You better let them know.
And if you're spending everything you got to take care of that car, nobody got to remind you to clean it. Nobody got to remind you to do the tune-up oil change because you know it's worth and you're going to take care of it. My thing is when you are treating yourself like a Pinto, you're going to attract people who can only afford a Pinto. So that's why I'm okay. I'm okay that the attraction that I have now is different. I'm okay that the people who used to like me no longer like me. I'm glad when I go in the club, the men that used to whistle at me no longer see me because they see something in me that is no longer there.
Okay, there was a guy on today. There was a guy on today that had a question, and the thing is, the question was, why do all the hoochies get all the attention when a respectable woman doesn't?
Because of what she brings off.
And you know what I told
him?
It's
easy.
I told him, I said, you're moving in the wrong circles.
There you go.
Because if you're moving in circles in which the men that are around you are only attracted to hoochies, you don't need to be around those men. I said, when you upgrade your circle to the point where these people understand the value of a human being, the value of a mind, the value of a good business person.
A respectable man ain't gonna even want to bother with
okay, the men I'm around are not, their neck is not stretched.
That's what I was saying. I'm glad that the men that used to whistle at me, the men that used to grab me, hey, can I talk to you, no longer want to do that. To be honest, they don't even see me anymore.
Thank you.
And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
You know why? Because God has set you in a certain place.
Oh my God!
To where when they look at you, it's not you the person. Right. It's the God
I was thinking that when right before you said that.
That they're saying there's something that's going on. I want to approach this woman, but there's something going on in this atmosphere that I'm scared to face what's going on. And you in there with trap rap.
Yeah, it's just like right now, I'm in a giraffe. I was in a giraffe spirit. See, a giraffe can see things in the level a turtle can't see. So because I'm on the level where my vision is totally different, I can't see what I used to see when I was on the ground. So now I look at myself as something that's in the window and not the broken button that's in the appliance item. So now I attract the eye of those who know I got what it takes to buy that. And not the ones who say, I'm going to bypass what's in the window and just pick what I can afford.
I'm going to tell you, my husband was too, I'm going to tell you guys about an experience I had before I married him and I was dating. And you know the guys who come on, hey baby, I know I can give you a good time. And I knew the person professionally, so I was like, okay, really? You don't need to approach me like that? And blah, blah, blah. So we just kept talking. We would talk about work. We were talking about music. We were talking about different things. One day he called me up. He said, I got to tell you something. And I said, what is it? He said, I was laying here, and God said, I've heard it in my spirit. You don't even know the names of her children. And you're trying to talk about what you're going to do to her. Now, I didn't tell him that. See, this is what God will start to do when you walk around like you know your price tag, when you know your worth.
The ones who can't
afford the ones that
look at you.
Thank you. He said, you know, I haven't even asked you the names of your children. And I said, so God convicted you. I didn't come and even convict you. God came. Because when you
And I would have convicted him if I find out who it is. I'm gonna convict
find out who it is. Though.
Oh, I think I know who it is.
But the thing of it is when you begin to walk in that value that God gives you, He says, I knew you before you were born. I formed you. You are what? Fearfully and wonderfully made. When you start walking in that, even people who would want to disrespect you,
they can't.
They can't.
They can't because you ain't asking for no validation.
And when
them.
thank you, and if they even come at you like that, your response is not the response.
If you like what you see and like, love, whatever, emojis. Go ahead.
Normally you would cuss out. But when you are sure for yourself, a man can be around, excuse my friend, can call girls all the B's, H's, because I'm not fitting in the character of those type of women. What they say to me cannot hurt me. Hit dog only holler when it's being hit. So if I know in myself I'm not in the characteristics of the women that they talking about, you can call them all day long and it won't affect me. The women that's getting upset are the ones that they know. The character they're talking about is of them. So you cannot let people hurt people. Yeah, that's what I do know.
Right, but when you get that love of God, when you have been redeemed, restored, when God starts to let you know about
you accept your flaws and nobody else can use them against you. What has happened to me has happened. I'm over it. I forgave myself. God forgave me. And now I'm ready to move on. So nobody can use that against me anymore.
Thank you.
So what it is that's imperfect about me is what it is. God is dealing with me just like He got to deal with you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why I say be careful, because even in the church, the pastor be on a pulpit preaching heaven and give his wife hell at home. See, you can't live two different lives. You got to be able to say this is what it is and walk with it. You attract the energy that you give off. And that's why I say I'm glad that a lot of the people that sometimes I go out and I wonder, why is everybody talking to the people that surround me and nobody looking at me? And in a way, I'm looking at it in a way, it's not there's something wrong with me.
You got to look at the people that surround you.
They know right off the bat. There's something about her. I know what I'm going to do. I can't do with her.
When you go out now, you get bored.
She's not going to play.
You're not running with the boys.
I don't even
even your company.
Because first of all, they'll call me the biggest hypocrite in the world. The way I joke about the clubs and stuff like that, because the reality is, like, the music they playing be the same old drum roll, dumb diggy, dumb stuff they playing, the trap rap. And so I don't see how you 40 years old, really, 40 years old, 50 years old, and listening to kindergarten music. I really don't see it. That's something your kids
you need to teach your kids.
But I'm just saying, but you 50, 40, or 50 years old. Like, we grew up with the Foo Snickers, we grew up with Run DMC, Fat Boys, Rakim, Houdini. You know, we grew up with all of these people from the 80s. We in our 40s, and you listening to some man with a wedding dress, you got the nerve to criticize, and then they criticize the same people that they listening to. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna listen to somebody who you disagree with, right?
That's just like what I was talking about on the pulpit. You can't say you preach in heaven and then live a life of hell. You can't do that.
That's along with what he's saying. He's saying how you gonna criticize somebody
that you support.
They don't support his lifestyle, but they like his music. They like what he's saying. Even though
Go ahead.
But even though he ain't saying nothing, a lot of rappers, like you saying, trap rappers, a lot of them ain't saying nothing. They basically all telling the same story. Same story over different beats. But the thing is, you gotta want to hear more. Like, you want to hear music with a message. Just like when we listen to gospel, you want to hear it with a message. When you listen to contemporary music, you want to listen to something with a message. And different genres, you want to listen to something with a message that more relates to your life.
But I don't think you want to listen to somebody who's sucking on a gum like he's sucking on a penis with a wedding dress
But
on.
see, the
talking
lifestyle
about
that
we
they
gonna shoot
live,
somebody.
it do accommodate what they want. See, you got to understand that at one point in time, when your life was at a certain point, that is the type of music you like because it accommodated your lifestyle. But as you grow and get older, a lot of things that we used to like, we don't like today because we grew. And after a while, they will grow as well. But that accommodates their lifestyle.
It don't matter what
And
age
see,
they are.
and we're wondering why so many, and we surprised about all these men today wearing dresses and being feminized. And look at the fashion statement. They are feminizing our men. They wearing tight jeans. They wearing things just as much as we do. But what we don't understand as well too, a lot of the issues that's going on with that relationship, and the reason why you don't see too many relationships, you see so many, and I don't have any problems. Me personally, who you choose to love is your business. I'm not to judge anybody. That is for God to do. We got to still love you. If you really want to follow the Bible, regardless of your sex life, you still got to love and support one another. That's what kills me sometimes with the with Christianity today, because you say one thing and say you want to love your brother and sister, but because they choose to have a different lifestyle for as who they choose to have sex with, their personal life, I'm going to turn my back on you. That's not what the basis of God is about, because if that's the case, God would have turned his back on you for the things that you have done. It ain't no one greater sin greater than the other. I hate when people try to make it seem like it's a 10% sin and 100% sin. It's not. Sin is sin. It's not no greater, no least. But the reason why I feel like today, the reason why men is not stepping up as being men, not only want to be a man, is because what goes on in the household. And it starts with us as women. We are out of order on a lot of things. We tell our daughter, and we are teaching these little girls still today, and she's saying, I don't need a man. The little girls now growing up saying, I don't want a man. And then the little boy who looking at his mom and sister talk saying, I don't want to be a man. Why would I want to be something that my mom told me all my life? That she don't want to be a man. The sister is saying, I don't want a man. And the little brother saying, well, what place do I have to be but to be like them? Because that's the only thing that's telling me to be loved is being like a woman.
Say that one more time. No, Junior. Say that one more time.
You got like a
Say
chicken
that.
or something?
No.
I'm saying that the reason why this is my opinion.
No. That's deep what you just said.
It was really
you need to step back. You said that the woman, you break it down to where the woman say, I don't need a man.
Okay.
That has something to do with
this is what I'm saying.
Come on now.
Why I'm not seeing too many of relationships and marriages where there is man and woman is because I feel like me as a woman, I'm sorry that some men have to be subject to that because of what we've been dealing with, and because we're dealing with so much hurt and everything else, that look what we're doing to the generation today. We wonder why it's okay now to be in middle school and elementary and you see two boys and two girls holding hands. You wondering why we're not seeing what it's supposed to be. Society is feminizing our men by how the way they even dress. They even look like us now. So how can a lot of women is not having respect for a man. Not only is that, it's because a lot of us as women, black women, I do say that we are out of order. And the reason why I said we are out of order as black women, because we tend to tell ourselves that you don't need no man. You can do it all by yourself. You don't need a man, but God made you from man. So you was intended to have a partner. God ain't intended for you to do everything by yourself. You are in position to be a helpmate. And a man is in a position to be the lead. But we have taught ourselves we don't need a man whatsoever. And yet we're telling our daughters and teaching our daughters that she don't want a man now. She is saying that mama is saying, I don't need a man. Daughter, remember, in order to make a copy, you got to consult the blueprint. The mother is the blueprint. So the daughter is looking saying, I don't want to have a man. Because mama done showed her whole life she don't need a man. You don't need, so she growing up to not need a man. And then the son, which is the little brother and her son, is saying, well, I don't even want to be a man at the age of 3, 4, 5 years old. Because you know why? He done been hearing every day from his mama, I don't need a man. The sister is saying, I don't want no man. So he is saying, why would I want to grow up and be a man?
Right.
But if my mama done taught me all my life that a man has no place in a woman's life.
Right.
So I'd rather be something where I can belong.
Right.
We don't understand that what we say can be crucial to our boys by telling them that and showing them that they don't need a man. When he needs to know at a young age that who he is a place and it's important and that we need you. That's the problem as black women. We're not reminding our men that they are needed.
That they're important.
That they are important. So why would he want to grow up to be a man when he's been taught and programmed in his head that he's not needed nor wanted?
If my mama ain't have a man and she was just so hateful towards men, so I'm gonna tell you what, I'm just like me and myself. I don't like men.
And I don't have a problem with anything, but I'm just telling you why we are out of order as women, and the reason why men are growing up as feeling like they're not needed. And I just feel like that little girls had the opportunity and the practice to be a good mother, to be a good wife, to be a good helpmate, to provide. Because as a little girl, we was taught how with our baby dolls to be a mother in the kitchen. Little girls have kitchenettes at the age of 2 years old.
Baby dolls.
So we have gotten rehearsal all our lives of how to cook in the kitchen, how to take care of our kids. We have gotten rehearsal all our lives to be a good lover, supporter. But then, if you look at men, where the boys had any practice of being a good father and being a good husband and a good man.
Oh my God.
A lot of them had to learn as it approached their lives. Because we as little girls have been molded and trained with our kitchenette to be a wife, to be a mother and provide.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, check this out.
That's good.
Now I hear what you're saying about the men. But what about the women? Not all women are ready to have a family and ready to take on the role of a woman. Like take care of family, take care of home. Okay, if the man out there breaking his back, busting his butt for his family, he coming home
to a woman that's
she been out or at home with her friends all day having fun, cocktails and all this and that. The kids been acting up. They're not
no food.
They're not told what they need to be doing. They're not told what they need not to be doing. And so then you have a child or you have children raising up with nobody showing them nothing but society. Okay, society. What is society showing people? Nothing.
So they're teaching you to learn how to do it always on your own, and you wonder why we're not leaning to one another to do anything.
Right.
But no, society is teaching people how to do things with the least amount of effort.
There you go. That too.
With the least amount of effort. It's not teaching work hard.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna have
everything's
some
been
difficult
given
time
easy
doing
though.
this. No, you because this person has this, you're gonna have it too. Or you should have it. Or if they have it and you don't have it, that's not fair. No, it doesn't go like that. You get in when you fit in. And then you do what you gotta do to be successful. Okay, if you're not gonna do that, then you're gonna end up with whatever you end up with. But people are not content with that at all. They're like, if he got a Mercedes, I want one too. But I work at Walmart, but I'm gonna get me a Mercedes.
Exactly. And you're not ready for that.
See, I got caught up in that. Let me give you a testimony out your butt. Would there be a testimony? Well, that wasn't no testimony. That was surely a test, though. But this is what happened to me. Okay. Yeah, I'd like to be in front of the camera. Yeah, but this is what happened to me. So, me and my ex-wife got into a separation, and she likes to ride these high-class cars and
You know, so I'm like, how's she doing this and this, and she going through this situation, that situation? So I said, oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. You think you got it made, don't you? So what I did, I was driving in a Caliber, and that Caliber had 18-inch rims. I was just riding and styling everything. And somebody called me, Drive Time that called me, matter of fact. And Drive Time called me talking about some interest rate. Now, I knew nothing about no cars. I knew nothing about no interest rate. So I said, Daddy, I was staying with my parents at the time. I said, Daddy, come with me and you know, help me with the car or whatever, right? Help me figure out whether I need to get this car now. So Daddy started fussing. He didn't want to go nowhere. He was going through his little depression thing. He was like, why would you get another car when you were about to pay this car over? So in my mind, I was mad at Daddy. I was just hot. And I said, okay, he don't want to go, so I'm going to go on my own. So next thing you know, I went in there. This is how I went to. Make sure you keep the camera on me. I went in there confident. I want a Benz, a Jaguar, or a BMW. They say, oh yeah, that's what you want? Okay, all right, we got you. Next thing you know, I go in there, I get me a Mercedes truck, Mercedes-Benz Jeep. And boy, I'm thinking I'm stunting on the plane. The white one.
Oh, okay.
And I'm just sitting there, I'm just styling and profiling, and they signing all types of papers. So I call my ex-wife, I'm like, yeah, I got a Benz now, doggone it. And you know, she's sitting there, she ain't telling me I was the biggest dummy in the world now. She's just getting excited. Yeah, okay, you got a Benz. Yeah, okay. Telling the kids and everything. Because she knew more about cars than I did. So the next thing you know, 3 months later, when the payments, you know what I'm saying? Because that's when the payments, like
90 days.
90 days, yeah, you start
90 days,
paying
you got it.
for 90 days,
Okay,
yeah.
come get it.
So
Got
the next thing you know, I'm driving around the city, full tank of gas, just driving around, showing off. That next day, it's on E. I say, what the hell I done got myself into? So every week I'm spending $80 on doggone gas, trying to catch up with the Joneses. And so you know what happened? I wrecked the car. I said, "Thank you, Jesus." God bless.
But see, that's what happens when you
car.
put yourself in a position you're not ready for.
But can I tell you something? And I hear everybody talking, and I'm going to put something out here for the body of Christ. I somewhat blame the church because we have become so worldly.
Yeah.
We have lost the idea that loving God and being a testimony to the Lord is enough. We want to have the house, we want to have the granite countertops, we want to have the car, we want to have the Ford, we want to have those things. And I know it says life and life more abundantly, but we focus more on this world than we have on the next. And so, we have marriages that are like, well, I'm not getting what I want here. I know he says forever.
Look at the pastor. He's living better than
Well, you said, and you talked about how he's preaching and then he going home.
He's preaching heaven on the pulpit and go home and give hell.
And hell to the poor wife. And I'm like, wait a minute, we've got this thing backwards. We really got it backwards. And, this is where I say even in shacking. Because in shacking, your mind ain't on God.
No, it ain't.
Your mind is on that
What
other
you
person.
want.
What I want and what I'm going to get from that other person. And if you can't do it, I might just go get
to the
somebody
next.
else. It's like, what's that song? I always laugh at it. All your stuff in the box to the left.
To the left.
To the left. You about to go somewhere, about to show up.
No, Sunshine ain't. No, that's Beyonce. Yeah,
That's Beyonce. By the time you get out of here, you're replaceable. And this is what we have bought into.
Yeah.
In that, this person is replaceable. I can do better. I'm gonna be a step up to the
And you
next
keep
person.
going. No affection, no feelings.
So then when you go through something, you looking at the person, and I tell Cray all the time, I said, you gotta always pray I love God more than I love you. Because God helps me love you.
Right.
Okay? Because if you mess
He certainly helped me love you, Jesus.
Ooh, and if you mess, you know what? But anyway, if you mess up, I'm not throwing you under the bus. Because first of all, I remember, okay, we're all born in sin, shaped in iniquity. You messed up. Are you repenting of what you did? Can we get to the point of forgiveness? Can we get biased? That's not happening in a shacking up relationship.
They gone.
It's
Because
not
it's
happening.
no, for one, I don't have no obligation.
Right.
Thank you.
to
I have
do
no
it.
obligation to make this
Right.
work.
I'm not obligated.
I'm not
The
obligated.
moment you step outside that box,
Oh, really?
my interest is gone
It's
right along
gone.
with it.
But then you got the same thing going on with people that's married because they're thinking that marriage is just a piece of
Piece of
paper.
paper.
Yes.
And so what we have though
Or
is
the
we
need.
bought into this world system.
Mhm.
Like you said, the person now at Walmart says, you know what, I don't just want to be at Walmart and only live in this level. They say my next level is higher. I'm sorry, I'm going there on the church. My next year going to be a new level for me. I'm going to do this and I'm going to be higher. And what somebody had up today said, I'm waiting for the pastor to explain how 2017 was supposed to be my year, and I guess it wasn't their year. But I was like, you know what?
Because you got to do the work too.
Thank you.
You can't say,
Thank
you cannot say that I want this for my life, I want to change in my life, and you're not willing to put in the work.
Into the work.
You're going to have to sacrifice losing some people, friends. You're going to have to change your lifestyle. Things going to change. You can't expect for everything in your life to happen the way you want it and not give up anything.
I was talking at the barbershop about that the other day
You're going to give up something.
because I was talking to one of my barbers, and he was talking about basically at the stage of trying to settle down, and he's looking at so many women. He's looking at all of these women and stuff
Stop
like
going to
that.
places that
So it's
suit you.
hard for him to stop. And he was like, he don't think he'll ever get to that point. And I was like, well, how do you know that you won't get to that point if you're not at that point?
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you're seeing so much around you to where all these people that are motivating you, man, sleep with that woman, sleep with this woman, sleep with that woman, but they ain't telling you.
But everybody's always in a
Yeah,
search for the
change
next
your
best thing. That's the problem.
That's the problem. Because, you know, at some point, when the Bible says that Paul said, however I find myself, I'm content.
Mm-hmm.
You know that's not what the world is pushing out here, and I'm sorry, half of the church ain't pushing that either. They're not asking you to be content. My cat just wants to be part of the day in the day. But the thing is that now we have in the church this desire, I want more. I want more. I want more. I want more than this. And like you said, are we really
The
willing
building
to
fund has
sacrifice
been
for
going
it?
on for years.
But
Thank
it's,
you.
but it's
Thank you.
also about you deserve. You deserve with no effort.
Say it again. Say
You
it again.
deserve with
You
no
deserve
effort.
with no. I deserve.
How can
You know,
how
I'm
can
going to
you-
get rid of everything that I no longer serves me. Well, since when did this whole world have to serve you? You know,
Exactly.
I thought we were in service to the Lord. So when you're in this whole worldly system and you start getting wrapped up, you're taking your eyes off of what you're supposed to be for God.
Mm-hmm.
You're putting all of your hopes and dreams in another human being that sure can't give you, they can't even give you life breath. They can't do anything for you, really, other than be there with you. And you want them now to solve all your problems. These are the things that I see happening because I'm like,
And you wonder why it's taking out your life because you are praising that
That's
person
right.
more than God.
Now,
So he's
what-
going to remove
what do
it.
you call it?
So he's
What
a
do you call
jealous
it?
God.
You call that an idol?
Yeah,
That's
so
an
what
idol?
about it?
But
He's going to remove it.
that goes back to me saying, no person is perfect.
Nobody.
So why would you put a person on
On
a
a
pedestal
pedestal.
when they're imperfect? Okay, that's
Because they
you making them
that's
idols.
visual.
They can
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, they
But
can
the
see
thing
that.
is-
That's visual.
But that's wrong.
It
Because
is.
everything you see,
Ain't
like
good
they
for
say,
you.
everything that glitter ain't gold. Everything all because they look good on the outside. A person can be tore up on the inside.
Yeah.
They can be
That's
the nastiest,
kill.
rudest people to you. All they have to do is open their mouth.
And
Like,
that's it.
how you doing? Have a nice day. Why you saying that to me?
Mhm.
You can such, but you don't know what that person's been through.
Yeah.
You don't know what's
They
going on
have
in their
hardened
life.
them.
Because people can snap at any time.
Mm-hmm.
Because we live in a fallen world.
Mhm.
People are always going through stuff. We're not the only people that's going through stuff
No.
and seeing life.
But Christianity is not helping with that at all because
Yes.
the reason why I
Uh-uh.
say this is
Church.
just
Wait.
Church people.
what
She's
church,
saying-
what I'm
she's
saying,
saying modern
church
church
period.
right now.
But
Modern
this is my
church.
thing. It's just like you telling the person who's drowning to paddle, keep swimming, keep going. But you're on shore. You're telling me what I need to do to prevent myself from killing myself, but you're not willing to get in that water and show me how to pedal, show me how to swim, and how to save myself. You are telling me, you dictating, but you're not showing me. There's a difference between telling people what they need to do to get their life right. Why don't you walk with me? Why don't you show me? Because a lot of us are visual learners. I'm one of them. You tell me something is one thing, but if you show it to me, I got it.
Yeah, and another thing is, we're not all going to be millionaires. We're not all going to be, the greatest motivational speakers. Sometimes I'm like, people, look, it's okay.
Yeah.
I know nowadays it's never okay to tell people that they're average and ordinary, but it's okay. You do not have to strive so hard for things in this world that you sacrifice your morals, your values, and everything for it. We don't have to go there, and I have to agree with you, because I sometimes have that with the church. People sometimes, when I grew up, dedicated their whole lives to being a testimony, being a light. Now it's just, well, this is my book, get my workbook, and my CD and my DVD, and then you say that they go home, and what are they at home?
They preaching on the pulpit but giving their wife hell or their husband hell at home.
And so I'm like, okay, there's a
politics.
Yeah, a lot. We have lost. The Bible says you've lost your first love.
When have you seen pastors nowadays go to the hospital when a member is sick? They either sending someone else.
No,
well, not all churches, but I'm saying
a
lot of them
right,
that are sending someone else.
Yeah, you're right.
And yet I'm giving you my tithes, and when I go through hardship, I got to get an appointment to have a conference with
I
you.
was at a church and
I have to.
So many levels.
But you have to look at that as you're not giving your tithes to him.
I know what I'm saying, but when I'm saying exactly, but look who it been. But when I see him. And I understand, yes, I do believe he deserves to be taken care of because of what he's giving to us. But at the same time, when I'm going through hardship and I'm a member of this church, it was times back in the day where your church is where you can go to get what you needed. If you want hardship, you cannot get that nowadays. Today, I don't understand. The churches was a community barrier, community. That's the person you go to. The churches were the places you go to when something was going on in the community. That's how it was. And when somebody died, when somebody's sick, there was a prayer warrior team that would go out to those houses and be praying over. We don't see churches go do the stuff that they used to do back then, and you wonder why back then, even though they had less, they survived a whole lot better than they do now.
That's what I'm trying to say. They had less, but
they survived better.
More powerful.
Yeah,
we were doing things. People were better connected.
Now we got churches on every corner.
It's the wilderness.
Every corner.
It's the wilderness and the contentment.
And the position people in.
The leadership in your church.
Yeah.
Because the church I go to in Mooresville.
Way off topic, but go ahead.
When I started there, they had small groups. And I was like, what are the small groups for? It's like you go to small groups and you study different things in the Bible biblically, things that are going on in life. And now that the church has grown, is a different pastor now, they still have small groups. And the small groups is a lot more because the church has grown so much and we got small groups for different interests. Okay, so you can be around people that share the same faith, doing what you like, not in sin, not being tempted, and enjoy yourself and have a good time. And you're also getting to know different people in your congregation. Because how can you be united with somebody and fight the same fight with somebody you don't even know? But y'all going to the same
church
on
Sunday. That's what I'm talking about right there. And that's sad that we're not as close as we should.
Pastor said we want to be a church that shows love and has relationship. So you have to get to know your other members.
Yeah.
And so that's why, because you look at certain churches, and we're familiar with this.
Yeah, I've been in the church
for years, and I don't
know half the
We look at a lot of big churches that, they got great preachers, great campus leaders, great everything, great ministries or whatever. but they're around a bunch of shackers. You know, there's a bunch of people shacking
but
within
They're
the
supposed
congregation.
to. That is what.
The
but
thing
that's-
is, I don't want to cut
Go
you
ahead,
off,
go ahead.
but the thing is, the bigger your church, the more people you're gonna have doing different things.
Yeah.
Okay, because you have a big successful church doesn't mean your
All
congregation
your
is less likely to sin. Because
Yeah.
we're all sin.
Right.
Yeah.
We all are supposed to go
Fall
to the
short.
same
We all
place.
fall short.
We all supposed to
You're
go to the
supposed to
same
pick
place.
up your brother
Yeah.
and your sister
My thing-
and tell them, correct them, and help them along.
I have
Be like,
friends.
you know that's not right by the word we serve.
Yeah.
And the God we serve, we're held to a certain standard. We're not supposed to live like the
I think what
world.
he's actually talking about, and I went through this, no name, but people were put in positions that were not in order. Okay.
That's-
Yeah.
People were in positions that were out of order.
Mhm.
And everybody winked and blinked and nodded and acted like they didn't see anything. And that pulled down the moral, the values, the whole fiber of the church, because it's like, look, we understand people are in different levels, but don't take on a leadership role. Don't take on a leadership role. Don't give leadership roles and then act like you don't see something is happening. And like I said, as long as the church was growing, no one seemed to care that that person was not living correctly, was doing something out of order. And I think that the old school, you guys sat down. You could sit down if you want to redeem
board.
yourself.
It was
Put
a
yourself
Now
back in
they'll sit
order.
you down if you just ain't paying any time.
There was a boy.
If you ain't paying any time,
There
they'll
was,
sit you
there
down.
was
That's
some
what
level
it
of
is.
accountability. I think I'm at the point, and I think that's where you're going.
Yeah.
There needs to be a level of accountability, and it cannot just be on focusing on what your blessing, what your material blessing is.
Yeah.
gonna be. We need to be growing spiritually, and I don't think that's always happening. And I think that's where
And
you're going.
yeah, exactly.
We're
And
not
so what?
maturing
You're
in
not.
God.
You're not on the level I'm on. So what? You are a shacker. I know my position, and my job is just to show you what it is you're doing, not to judge you, but
Not
just
to judge you.
just to help
And
you along the
sometimes just to
way.
be a living testimony.
Exactly,
That's all.
because we all
Pray,
fall
as a
short.
pray as a married people, when we were dating and courting, and now we're married, we're an example.
And there
And
you
some
go.
people might have to look at us for a whole year, 2 years, 3 years. It's not just one time you're gonna tell somebody and they're gonna get it right. They're not gonna say, well, do these people practice what they preach?
Don't tell me you don't have friends that might not do the same that you do, but you still associate with friends.
I
Just
said-
because you not on the level I'm on don't mean because you're gay, I can't be your friend.
Can't be
Because
your
you're
friend.
this, I
Okay,
can't
you
talk
and
to you.
I-
I can't be
Thank
seen
you.
with you because you're this. No, if I really am a child of God and I really represent God like the way you say you do, you don't treat people that
You
way
don't do that.
You know,
anyway.
you still can love them.
Yeah, but
You
you
still can have your
don't
opinion
don't
or-
turn
or
your
whatever.
back on them
No.
because of what they they're not living in the way you are right now.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, you can still have your opinion, you can still say what you got to say, but still love them
Yeah,
unconditionally.
unconditionally.
You know what I'm saying? So just because we don't agree, we ain't on the same page,
I put
don't
something
mean
on
I
the
don't
book
love
about this. I put something on the book about this. It's like all because a person is not where you're at, or they don't seem like they're trying to go further their walk with Christ, doesn't mean I'm going to put them down. But I'm not going to let them hinder my life.
There you go.
I'm
You
going
still
to be a
keep going.
light. If you don't see me as a light in your life, then we shouldn't even be friends.
But it on the flip side of that, you know, if you're gonna be a light, they still have to watch you from a distance.
Distance. There you go.
So look at this. They hate when I do this, but you know, as many people that's watching that I invited, you know, over here, right? And I invited messages, stuff like that. And you know, it's I'm going to a ball game. I'm doing all of this. I'm doing all of that. You know, I just don't fool with you because you so judgmental. All of that stuff. They still watching. So as much as they don't fool with me, or as much as we have our different opinions or whatever, as long as they're watching me, I'm still shining upon God. I'm still shining upon God.
You being
So
alright.
You still being
You
seen.
but I'm not distancing myself.
but
I'm
you-
still gonna do the same
but you're
thing
sowing a
Wednesday,
seed.
Thursday, and Friday
You're
that I
sowing a
did.
seed.
Yeah. You still
Now
doing what
you're
you're
sowing a
supposed to do.
seed. Now is that tree gonna bear fruit?
It depends.
If they have interest, like they disagree with you, but they have interest. So if they have interest, that fruit is, that seed is being
watered,
fertilized.
Yeah.
And something could spark up from that. A relationship with Christ could spark up from that. And they can be looking at this and be like, they keep talking about shacking up. And okay, look at the life I'm living. I call myself a Christian. It's some things they can say to their mate. It's some things we need to work on so we can be a better example for our kids.
Yeah.
I agree, and just like even though a lot of people say it's a lot about shacking or however way it go, yeah, it has happened. We all have did it. Not saying for those who are in a relationship with somebody or dealing with someone that because you are shacking that y'all cannot come together in that relationship and make it right. I don't want somebody to look at it saying because you are shacking, you is under, you are beneath, you are this. No, I'm not saying, at least me. I'm speaking for me, not saying that because you are shacking that you are not this and not that, because we all have experienced it. You have to go through what it is that we go through. Yeah, we all fall short, but if you with the person who you know in your heart, you want to make some changes and you want to do things right, they will want to make those changes right along with you.
Exactly.
And they're willing to take those steps to make it right. Not saying because y'all started off wrong, y'all can't not make it right. You can.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah, you can. So get off your butt Monday morning, go to the courthouse, and get it going on, and get it engaged.
Marriage is a process. It's a matter of
okay, what is $20? $20 a week, $100 a week until you get the engagement ring and do it.
Price of marriage. Because I want to have sex with you. I got to marry you tomorrow.
Yeah, you can't put a price tag
So
on marriage.
what did Paul say? What did Paul say?
You can't put a price tag
What
on
did Paul say
marriage.
about sex?
It's so much more.
What did Paul say about sex?
Right.
What Paul say about sex?
It's more than the courthouse.
It's more than
No.
Because that's just a piece of paper. We already established.
forget the
that.
paper.
It's not
What
about
about
the
getting you
paper.
right?
It's about having a
It's
vote.
not about marriage.
All I'm saying is, if all I'm saying, this is the bottom line, okay? Don't shack and don't wait till you get married to have sex, period. So in order to avoid the whole sexual thing, right? In order to avoid the whole sexual thing, don't move in. Because I'm gonna tell you something, I couldn't lay beside a woman and not have that type of mindset.
We're
But
talking
that don't
about,
make
we're
it
talking about people that's
already doing it.
How they can
So what do you tell a person? Wait, what do you tell a person? Y'all tell me now.
Y'all
What do you
doing
tell
it.
a person that's been there 17, 18 years, and still shacking, they got kids together and everything? I'm asking.
Exactly.
So what
you
you
mean.
do,
Make
what
a
you would
decision
do is
and
make
do
a
it right.
decision. Okay, what goals are we going here? Because if this is all we're gonna do and do nothing but shack and we're not gonna become as one, then you got to come to agreement to realize that what are we doing? What is the common goal? That's when you find out what is your word. See, a lot of stuff got a lot to do with stuff.
Yeah.
It have nothing to do with being together.
That's what you
It's
follow.
what you want for yourself. If you know that you're not somebody who you want to be with for 10 plus years and he never decides to marry me, and I'm nothing more than just what I am, then that's what you settle for.
Yeah.
But once you begin, I don't care, 10 years later, you've been with a person, all of a sudden on the 11th year, you realize, you know what, I want more.
Yeah.
I want somebody to see me as much. That's when you present yourself and say, look, the person I was 10 years ago, I'm not today.
Right.
I want to know
Right.
what it is we can do together to make us become one. Because I feel like we will be blessed beyond what we
Right.
are if we just live right. I love you. I want to continue my life with you. But I need you to be not on the same book, but the same page. And you got to say what it is that you want. And if he don't disagree with what you want, then you got a choice to stay in it or leave.
Yeah.
But time has nothing to do with anything. Time, people think because I invested 10 years, you can meet somebody that you only met in 2 weeks that can do a more bigger impact in your life than somebody you done been with 20 years.
You are absolutely
So
right.
time means nothing. If 10 years and 20 years of us being together and we have not grown any, and all of a sudden you clicking realize I want more in life, I want to make some changes, and if I know what I'm doing is hindering my blessing,
Yeah.
okay, I mean, it's your job as that woman to go to your man and say, look, I love you. I want to make this work. I want to live in the blessing that we both deserve to have.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
so how do you feel about marriage? Because I feel like I'm tired of year after year. We're investing everything, we doing everything of a marriage, but not of one. And I'm not saying we're doing it for the paper. I'm doing it because, you know what? I want to live right.
Right.
And self-preservation comes first.
Right.
Y'all right now is not as one.
Right.
But what you gonna have to do at that point then choose. He either gonna walk with you, like I say, the biggest price to love is sacrifice.
Yeah.
And if he love you, and when you come to him with that, but baby, yeah, I do think we do need to work on towards the goals of us being married so we can receive the blessings and everything else that we need. I'm not saying that because you're shacking, you're wrong. Everybody go through a process. Everybody's life is different. Not a lot of us had the opportunity to give our virginity to our husbands. A lot of us have did wrong. Things happen. But if you are in a relationship with somebody and you done been with them for the amount of time you have, and you feel like it's not going anywhere, and you want to do right, be honest with them.
Yeah.
And then see where it goes. And then you have to choose. Never sacrifice what you feel is right for your life for someone else.
And then to add on what you just said, because regardless of whether you bring it up or not, once you feel convicted about you not living right, whether you bring it up to them or not, now you're already lowering your worth, and you're already lowering, your growth with God. And then it really shows their true colors and what they're really about when you set them down and you have that conversation. You really are just cutting the ball short. Because if they weren't planning on marrying you, you're going to find out when you had a conversation.
Yeah, because they're going to tell you then,
right.
I don't want to get married. I'm sorry, I don't want to get married. And then you'll realize that you're investing your years with someone that can never give you what it is, your promise.
And just think if you added 5 more years
why keep
onto
investing?
that, you can't ever get that time back.
Time is something that you can, that's why you got to live enough for today. That's why I would try to talk to young ladies, and even my daughter and anybody, to remind them that be clear what it is that you want from day one.
Right.
Don't keep going with the flow of things. Let them know that you are expecting something of it. The reason why a lot of women not married because we're not requiring them to.
Girl.
You ain't never required me to have a goal of us getting married. So why you want to talk about marriage now? If you would accept that from the jump, that you gonna see where it goes, then he gonna keep letting you see where it go. But if you come from the jump saying, look, I don't want to waste your time, and I don't want you to waste mine, but my goal in dating right now is to one day be someone's wife. And if you know in your heart today that you don't never want to get married, I don't want to waste your time. That way you will stop wasting time.
I had somebody say something to me like that a few years ago. There was a friend from before I was married, and we just started hanging out and stuff like that. And she said, "Well, I want my kids to see me married one day." Okay, now you got kids from 2 other previous relationships, and I'm trying to get myself together because of my previous marriage, and then she was wanting to put the heat on me for her to get married. I'm like, we're hanging out as friends, but all of a sudden you pressuring me to get in a relationship and to say there's going to be a marriage in the future. It's like, no, I'm not going to agree to that. I'm not going to say that. It's like, I'm not saying nothing's wrong with you, But the thing is, I'm working on myself.
Right,
Yeah.
and that's okay though.
That's
okay.
good.
It just
You
means you
told
weren't in
her.
that position at that time, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the mistake that a lot of people make, they feel that pressure, and they be like, well, you know, I kind of like you, so even though I'm working on myself and I'm really not
I'ma still
ready,
try.
I'm gonna still try it anyway.
And then you putting somebody in a position that they not ready for.
Right.
Stop forcing people to be something they're not ready for, and you're gonna end up being in a mess.
And like the thing.
So
say that.
before we wrap it up, you say you put somebody in a position that they're not ready for.
That's right.
So if they tell you that, is your advice for them to move on from that
We
situation?
can be friends. There's nothing wrong with being friends, but I would not invest any more time in trying to be your wife or your woman. And you can't ask me to cook, clean, do all these type of
All these
things,
roles.
and then yet I'm not
You
labeled
working on
as being your
yourself.
wife or your
From
woman.
my point of view,
But you want all the benefits of what it takes to have a
that's
wife.
what I said.
You can't do that.
That's what I said. That I'm not. I don't want no benefits or nothing like that.
Right.
You know, you don't have to. You know,
Sleep with
try
me,
to
do all that.
try to do all that
Mhm.
because I'm trying to get myself right.
Right.
I'm trying to do it the right way.
That's good.
Because I was
Nothing
like,
like
because
that.
my thing was like, how can I give somebody a gift that's broken?
Right, right.
You can't.
Yeah.
That don't make any sense.
You
You
destroy
give
everything
a
you touch.
3-year-old a gift that's broken, and they're gonna be happy when they see it. But as soon as they
When the
touch it,
legs
they're gonna look
fall
up at you like,
Yeah.
I don't even know what to do with it. But what I'm
You
gonna do
right.
with this? What I'm gonna do with this? It's
And
broken.
you right.
They're gonna start
That's
crying.
funny.
They're like, oh Lord God, why they do this to me?
Yeah.
And you like, come on, baby, it's
I
all
like
right.
that.
That's
It's
a
still
good
some
point.
good. No, it's not. It's broke.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
look, we're gonna wrap it up. Ain't no sugar in your shacking, so therefore don't go to the grocery store.
Lord.
Don't go to the grocery store.
I don't
Don't,
know about you.
Ain't no sugar in your shacking.
ain't no sugar in your
There
shacking.
used to be a club. You remember that?
Sugar shack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Ain't no
You don't remember that?
And then,
No.
but I also want to end
You're
on this note.
Charlottesville. You're Charlottesville.
Mm-mm.
Where you from?
I'm Savannah, Georgia.
All right, now we got some Savannah, some crab legs, seafood connection. This who you talk
You've
to.
been here long enough to know Pat McCoy.
Yeah, Pat McCoy.
Well, I
Yeah, Sugar
also want to
Shack.
end it
But,
on this note
yeah.
that as Christians,
Mhm.
we have to walk in love. When we see people walking out of God's order, we should remember half the time we've been there, done that already. So we have to walk in the same love, mercy, grace that God showed us. And live by example. You are the living testimony. You are the best testimony. God may be putting you in that position to be near that person because of what you've been through and what you can share. And as long as we're doing that, as long as we're not, and I don't mind judging, but I don't like condemning. As long as you're not condemning a person and then ostracizing them when you're not going to be around that person, that's not what God needs, because how are they going to hear the word of God
You're right.
if you're not around them?
You're right.
So that's what we have to continue to do. I have friends that right now, like I said, are not walking in right order in this situation of shacking, but it doesn't mean I stop talking to them. It doesn't mean I don't stop saying, come on, be on the prayer call with me on Friday. Because I never know when the Holy Spirit might show up. And like you said, that person wakes up. That person wakes up.
Out of nowhere. It's
Out
no
of
time.
nowhere. But you keep, as a Christian, keep walking in that order, in that love. Because somebody's gonna have some love for you.
Somebody did.
So how we gonna do this? We're gonna get Reverend Janelle to pray over us as we go.
You're gonna say pray.
Who's Reverend Janelle?
I ain't no reverend.
Reverend Janelle
You know.
is gonna pray as we go ahead and pray. Come on, we're gonna hold hands because we need social media to see us join hands. You know, because two or more is gathered.
Should have been in this.
Amen.
Okay, can I get it to sit up?
Amen. So
Falling down. I'm don't ask me what I did.
now Dion used to be skinny. He used to dunk and everything.
You good? It's
It's good. It's
You
good.
remember that?
Yeah.